This is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Melody Sasser? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing by this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the alleged crime, then offer my analysis. Melody Sasser was an environmental compliance specialist who worked for the Pilot Flying J truck stop chain. She worked for the corporate headquarters in Knoxville, Tennessee. Melody met a man named David Wallace on Match.com. He was an Air Force veteran and had worked for the Department of Energy as an emergency manager. Melody and David spent time together hiking on the Appalachian Trail. They considered each other to be hiking friends, but it's not clear if there was another level to their relationship. David eventually moved to Prattville, Alabama, and married a woman named Jennifer. Prattville is about an hour and 15 minutes south of Birmingham. It would appear as though Melody was not happy about David's decision. Now moving to the timeline of the alleged crime. On April 27, 2023, the United States Department of Homeland Security received information from a foreign law enforcement agency that David's wife, Jennifer Wallace, had been targeted as part of a murder-for-hire plot. Information about Jennifer had been submitted to a dark web-hosted site called the Online Killers Market, which investigators referred to as OKM. This website purportedly allowed people to order various types of criminal services, including murder, kidnapping, extortion, hacking, and disfigurement by acid attack. The website, which is now defunct, was a money-making scam. They did not actually complete the criminal services they offered. OKM had a public forum where users could ask questions and have discussions with purported hitmen. A user could become a customer by creating an account. After that, they could order a specific crime by providing their precise requirements. This would include information about the intended victim. Once an administrator at the website reviewed the request, they would produce a quote for the customer and assign a hitman to the project. The customer was able to communicate with the fake hitman using an internal messaging system that functioned like a regular email account. If the owners of the website had an inclination to be clever, they could have named the messaging system Dead Letter. The information that law enforcement received indicated that a user with the name Cat Tree had placed an order with OKM on January 11, 2023. Investigators would later come to believe that this user was Melody Sasser. Melody wanted Jennifer Wallace to be murdered. She supplied OKM with Jennifer's name and address. In addition, Melody offered a lot of other details in a description section. She wanted the murder to seem random or accidental. She did not want to involve the planting of drugs and did not want there to be a long investigation. Melody gave more information about how to locate Jennifer, writing that Jennifer recently moved in with her new husband. Jennifer worked at home and in an office in Birmingham, Alabama. Melody supplied the address of the office, described Jennifer's motor vehicle, and described David's motor vehicle. She even supplied the license plate numbers. Melody uploaded a photograph of Jennifer to facilitate the homicide. At the end of the description, Melody wrote about how Jennifer and David had 3 dogs that bark and jump, but they were nice dogs. It's not clear why she made that last comment. Maybe she wanted to make sure the hitman did not target the dogs, like the hitman would be standing there holding a pistol and the dogs would run up to him. As he prepared to shoot them, he would stop and think to himself, wait a second, these dogs are barking and jumping. They must be the nice dogs to which the customer referred. Law enforcement officers were able to determine that the information about Jennifer submitted to OKM was 100% accurate. It appeared as though Melody was serious about the completion of this homicide. It's curious that investigators stated the information was 100% accurate. I strongly doubt they actually checked to see if the dogs were nice. OKM quoted the price for the murder at $9,750. 11 days prior to making this order, Melody used a CoinHub Bitcoin ATM machine to make an initial payment to the website. This is further proof that she was a serious customer. Homeland Security contacted the police in Prattville, Alabama, who in turn contacted Jennifer. They explained to her how someone was trying to kill her. She mentioned to the police that Melody could have been the perpetrator. Here is the story that Jennifer supplied to law enforcement about Melody's behavior. In the fall of 2022, Melody traveled to David's home in Prattville. She was not invited and not expected. David explained to her that he was engaged. Melody responded, quote, "I hope you both fall off a cliff and die," unquote. It would appear as though Melody was pretty angry. She wanted David and his future wife to suffer a horrible death. This seems particularly sadistic, considering the couple was already getting married. How much more pain did Melody want to inflict? Around the same time as this confrontation with Melody, Jennifer found the sides of her vehicle damaged with what appeared to be a key. After the confrontation, Jennifer started to get phone calls from a person who was trying to disguise their voice using some type of electronic device. The calls were threatening, unpleasant, and came from various phone numbers. The caller was making the calls using the internet, and they were untraceable. Jennifer was able to stop the calls by contacting her cell phone provider. Jennifer told the police that she and her husband used a fitness tracking app. This allowed the police to see a history of Jennifer's movements and compare them with information that Melody provided to OKM. On March 27, 2023, Melody sent a message to the website indicating that on March 26, Jennifer worked from home and went for a 2-mile walk by herself. Law enforcement was able to verify that Jennifer had in fact gone for a 2-mile walk on March 26, and Jennifer said that she had worked from home that day. Investigators believe that Melody had access to the data from the fitness tracking devices of both Jennifer and David. In addition to this electronic surveillance, it appears as though Melody had traveled to Alabama and conducted physical surveillance. License plate reader cameras captured the license plate on her 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe near Jennifer's workplace on November 9 and November 14, 2022. This is the same vehicle that she had used for her unannounced visit to David's home. By collecting transaction information from CoinHub, the police were able to figure out that the user Cat Tree was Melody. Undercover investigators tried to contact Melody on WhatsApp, undoubtedly to set her up, but she did not respond. I guess she had loyalty to her non-existent OKM hitman. Melody was arrested on May 18 and charged with murder for hire. She faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Melody is no longer employed by the truck stop chain, probably because of the murder for hire part. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Melody appeared to progress from harassment to a murder plot. She did not seem to have a clear plan from the beginning, which made it more difficult for her to escape responsibility. Melody doesn't really have much of a defense now because of the alleged pattern of harassment that took place prior to her interactions with OKM. She did not manage to have somebody shoot her intended victim, but she did manage to shoot herself in the foot. It's not clear what Melody actually wanted. Why was she so indiscriminate as far as tactics she used to harm Jennifer? Did she think that Jennifer would leave David? Did Melody simply want her to suffer in general? What did she hope to accomplish by killing Jennifer? Less than 2 months before her arrest, Melody appeared to be getting impatient. On March 22, 2023, she sent a message to OKM, which read, quote, "I have waited for 2 months and 11 days, and the job is not completed. 2 weeks ago, you said it had been worked on and would be done in a week. The job is still not done. Does it need to be assigned to someone else? Will it be done? What is the delay? When will it be done?" Unquote. Melody received a reply from the administrator of OKM, which read, quote, "Hello, she is not aware. He just failed as he did not attempted it yet. He felt like it is too risky for him to do it. Regards, admin, unquote. OKM doesn't seem to be able to be good at killing people, but they have no trouble murdering Grammer. The administrator eventually told Melody that there were 2 other hitmen that could do it, but they wanted more money. The prices were supplied for each hitman, and Melody selected the cheaper of the 2. Who can blame her for being frugal? It's hard to manage a murder for hire on a budget. Item number 2. Melody allegedly confronted David and wished for him and his future wife to fall off a cliff and die. She appeared to have an affection for David's 3 canines. She had disclosed details of the demeanor of the delightful dogs to the fake assassin. If David and Jennifer both fell off a cliff and died, who would take care of the dogs? It's like Melody was just not thinking at all. Item number 3. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. It appears as though Melody was romantically attracted to David. Maybe she came to believe that they had some type of future together. Melody had trouble accepting that David had decided to be with someone else. She became obsessed with the idea of hurting his love interest. She tried harassing Jennifer, but that wasn't enough to satisfy Melody's rage. Melody became completely focused on eliminating her romantic rival. She probably did not believe that she would ever be with David, but she wanted to make sure that David would not be with anyone else. If Melody could not have him, no one would. In order to alleviate the pain of rejection, Melody had to make other people suffer. Melody was so invested in the fantasy of revenge, she looked past the obvious warning signs that OKM was a scam. Melody believed what she needed to believe. She allowed herself to fully engage in the fantasy. Now moving to my final thoughts. The dark web scam websites, which promise criminal services, tap into the underdeveloped market of people who like the idea of murder but don't want to do it personally. The websites don't deliver on the promise, rather they have become a vehicle that facilitates the arrest of aspiring killers. It's staggering to imagine how disconnected some people are from the world that they believe in the existence of a discount murder-for-hire industry. I guess the good news for Melody is this. Her financial transaction data related to the website led to her speedy arrest, which satisfies her aversion to long investigations. Those are my thoughts in the case of Melody Sasser. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.